Wow, this is Brian, and we're back to the Budget Home Studio, 12th of October 2016. And for the last few broadcasts, we've been doing the revision of the globe. I sort of stumbled into this whole exercise some time ago after reading the book of Enoch. And then I discovered that actually I'd missed out on a lot. I have been a bit of a student of theology, reading quite carefully some parts of the Bible. Other parts, I must admit, that I've gone through fairly quickly. But recently I've returned again to reading the book of Genesis and the book of Job. And that as a consequence of reading the book of Enoch. And I've been astonished at how much I've missed. There's a lot of background to this, certainly a lot of research that I've been engaging in. Fortunately, I've been in a position to have some time to do that. Not everyone appreciates that, of course, because as soon as you start to actually break the mould, the society puts up resistance. And I have to say, I've encountered the most resistance ever in my life, and I've spent different parts of my life doing different things, from being part of the silver bromide photographic industry, that is to say when we were using films and mechanical cameras. I've also been in local body politics, and I read philosophy and religion at university, but however, that's a long time ago. I've retained my interest in philosophy ever since. And it is with some bemusement that I find myself doing a complete revision of the idea of the globe. Excuse me. I found it very difficult getting people to discuss this locally. I think the word is cognitive dissonance, that describes the wall of resistance that comes up as soon as you mention anything coming close to a flat earth. And in actual fact, I suppose the flat earth is a little misleading, because very few people that I've spoken to really actually are thinking of a straight flat plane. The earth has definitely got mountains and valleys and so forth, but rivers don't flow uphill, and the water doesn't bend. I've been doing some research projects of my own. I acquired a Nikon P900 camera to establish for myself what exactly was going on. And as you can see, it's got a beautiful hunk of lens here. This camera magnifies 83 times the subject that you're looking at. So obviously the moon has been coming out great, and also pictures from distance, and going to places like beaches, waterfronts, and looking out to sea or looking across harbour areas, and establishing for myself the lack of curve that I grew up sort of accepting. I won't say I was a believer of the curve, I just accepted it. Not any longer. Most of the tests that I've been able to do have convinced me that the curve doesn't exist. Also, very grateful to the support of Robert Shortman in the UK, Mark Sargent, who's been a player in the Flat Earth revision, or should I say the global revision, for some time, and Rob Skeeper, who has a strong religious Christian backbone to his approach. So you can actually find some of my own tests on Facebook, where my page is under my name, Brian Pepperell. What I think I'm establishing quite clearly that the globe is a fiction. And it is difficult to communicate about this. It's possibly even more difficult for your friends and family, because it comes like a bolt out of the blue. And again, I say it was cognitive dissonance, which actually comes up as a wall. Fortunately, in the newspaper this morning, I was able to point to some of my closer family that the whole idea of space travel, as we've been told through the filter of NASA, is also a fiction. I, for one, was very early in doubting the truth of the claims that they'd actually got to the moon. No, they hadn't got to the moon. As a silver bromide photographer, I spotted a whole lot of problems, including the incredible heat, the radiation and so forth that they would have to put up with. So a group of guys dressed in jumpsuits, travelling in a tin can, an alloy can, passing through the Van Allen belt, was never ever going to be a goer as far as I was concerned. And in likewise, the whole notion of a flat earth. It's interesting that this cosmology, wraps up a lot of things. No, we didn't do the space travel we say we have. When I say we, I mean the claims that were made by the US and other so-called space exploration, all part of a big fiction. I think probably Richard Byrd had worked out a lot of this. Definitely Werner von Braun left us a pretty open message on his headstone that the firmament, or the dome over the flat earth, was a pretty strong reference to God's handiwork. So what would have been so apparent to people 200, 300, 400 years ago, that there was a creator, has a great, infinite and personal creator, has progressively been rubbed out by the idea of the Copernican cosmos. And I mean, this really is a very thorough and far-reaching shift in the way that we would see reality. And I think, without a doubt, a Luciferian plot, if you like, to displace God being at the centre of the universe on the earth that he had created, which was the centre of the universe. God having his footstool on the earth and his throne above the firmament. A lot of understanding of the cosmos has been lost to us, and yet consistently down through the ages the Bible has continued to speak truth about the nature of the cosmos and the nature of man. So no attempting to duck this one. Luther was right when he talked about solely by Scripture as the basis of knowing oneself and knowing the external world. Okay, so I've just run up nearly 9.5 minutes on this video, and so I'm going to draw it to a close. I want to thank all those people that have been in touch with me around the world who are part of a family of a revision of the globe and the assertion that we live on a flat and stationary earth. Okay, until next time.